We're here today in the Scottish Highlands in a wonderfully named place called Dull, but we've come here for an experience that's far from dull. In the heart of the Perthshire countryside in Scotland is Highland Safaris, where we've come today to have an up-close encounter with some Scottish red deer, and an additional surprise too. The main building here is the base for a number of different activities, such as Land Rover safaris, there's a Loch Tay boat trip, and there's a whole bunch more activities that you can do here. Inside there's a small gift shop and a coffee shop. I'll tell you how much this red deer experience cost at the end of the video, and as we had to arrive 15 minutes before the experience began, we checked in, signed a disclaimer, and settled down to enjoy a lovely coffee and cake while we waited. But soon enough it was time to meet the deer, and as we make our way outside we crossed over to another nearby building. Inside we settle ourselves down for an informative talk about deer in Scotland and have a selection of antlers passed around while we were told more detail about them. After this talk it was time to go back outside, but we'll return here shortly for a surprise we didn't actually know about when we booked this experience, but for now we're issued with a cup of food pellets and we head outside the back of the building to be welcomed by friendly deer eager to receive our food offerings. This is a farmed herd of deer, not wild ones, and they were definitely used to humans and being fed by guests. Unlike horses, of course, the deer have no front teeth, so there's little risk to bites, and it kind of felt like being brushed by a tennis ball when you fed them. However, they were kind enough to leave their saliva behind on your hands, so that was something to be aware of. Hand sanitizer at a cleaning station was provided afterwards, though. It was great feeding the deer and being up close to an otherwise very reclusive animal, and it was a lot of fun. Really something quite different, and the staff were on hand to answer questions and offer advice along the way. All too soon we were out of food and we headed back inside, but there was a further surprise to our experience as a barn owl was brought out, and we learned about this species of bird now. Also, and only when it wanted to, the bird wasn't forced to do this, but it did choose to fly the length of the building in front of our eyes. Quite an incredible sight. Any further questions about deer or owls were addressed as our experience came to an end and we left the building. However, there was still a trail around the field where the deer were kept, allowing for some additional photo opportunities, and you were free to remain on site as long as you liked, checking out the animals and taking in some fantastic Perthshire views. So how much did this cost? The red deer experience at the Highland Safari Centre for an adult ticket cost us £15 each, and we booked directly from their website. It's a really unique experience and was well presented with an informative and entertaining host, so I'd recommend doing it too if you're in the area. You do need to book in advance, but it's a memorable and unusual experience well worth doing. Thanks for watching, I hope you liked seeing the deer too, and I'll see you on my next video somewhere else in the world. See ya!